So we've been talking a lot about, I made a video last week about which coordinator will stay. Defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator. Will they both stay? Will they both go? Ben Johnson is the one that I'm kind of confident he stays. Now, if we win a Super Bowl, he might be more tempted to leave because he, mission accomplished with Detroit. Or would he want to stay and do like a Kansas City Chiefs thing or a San Francisco 49ers thing, but yet we go all the way? Will he want to try to go for that dynasty and stay in his cushy primo position, probably be able to get a raise in pay as well? If you guys remember, heading into the 2023 season, Sheila threw the bag at him, was like, yo, here's what it's going to take to get you to stay. He got a pay increase. Aaron Glenn might be up for one too at the end of this year. So the thing I have now is I've been hearing, I was very adamant that Aaron Glenn would not go to the New York Jets if Aaron Rodgers was there. Well, turns out that Aaron Rodgers has no control over whether or not he stays in New York. The coach is fired, Aaron's fault. The GM is fired. That's Aaron's fault as well. One guy he not going to get fired is Aaron Glenn. We had this discussion before. Aaron Glenn, y'all, hey, listen. I think Beyonce said it the best. She said, you must not know about me. You don't know Aaron Glenn has never been coached by a certain type of coach. I'm going to just put it like that. I ain't trying to start no trouble. But Aaron Glenn he ain't going to the same team that Aaron Rodgers play for. And I've been watching all type of news segments. And they're like, no head coach is going to want to go over there if Aaron Rodgers is there. Well, I found out that the Jets they might not bring him back. He's probably not going to come back for next year. They have a potential out, which brings me to the purpose of this video. Is if Aaron Glenn wants to go to the New York Jets and Aaron Rodgers is not going to be there, is that going to make that job more appealing, or is he going to remain in Detroit? I really believe that we're going to keep both of them, especially if we don't win the Super Bowl. If we do, that might be kind of reason for both of them to leave. But we know what Ben wants. Aaron, is that something he wants to do? More, does he want to be a head coach more than he wants to, because if you become a head coach, especially with a dysfunctional organization, all right, Dan Campbell took a real gamble coming to Detroit because we were dysfunctional. We were these teams. When I watch the New York Jets and I see their fan base, I'm like, wow, that was the Detroit Lions 4 years ago. That was us. They're wearing bags over their head. They're calling for, I think it's funny, nobody's really calling for Aaron Glenn. I will say that he doesn't get as much love as Ben Johnson has been getting, especially this year. But when I see those teams, like the Jets, right? The Jets have won a Super Bowl. The Jets have been to multiple Super Bowls. They got legends, right? As far as historic legends. But it's a job that not many people are going to want to take on. Do I think Aaron Glenn could do it? Yeah, hard-nosed, tough, you know what I mean? He could go over there, but will he? Woody Johnson, very medley, and I'm going to tell you what, Dan Campbell, when you have a coaching tree is more than just having coaches who coached under you to go be a head coach somewhere else. It's also about dropping knowledge. Dan Campbell, listen, I played for Detroit. I wanted to be here, okay? Aaron Glenn played for the Jets, so he might be the perfect guy to bring that organization out of the dirt because they're going to be at the dirt. But Dan Campbell could coach him up and say, listen, Woody Johnson, he likes the metal. Sheila, get out the way. So if you're telling Ben Johnson and you're telling Aaron Glenn, yeah, being a head coach is great. I'm going to miss both you guys because we heard Dan Campbell say it. He might even shed a tear or two. I might shed a tear or two. You know what I'm saying? But if you're going to go over here, Aaron, you got to have an owner that's out the way. You got to have an owner that you don't even hear about the owner, right? Well, you know why? One of the reasons Sheila don't get a lot of credit because we don't hear about her. Think about Jerry Jones. I watched the podcast, and they said that typically when a team is done with the game, you go into the locker room and you talk to the players. That's what you talk to, right? We don't see Brad Holmes. We have not seen him interviewed. He has not spoken this season, right? They said with the Cowboys, They stand outside the locker room. They wait for Jerry Jones to come out. They talk to him first. Then they go talk to the players, right? Now, he's the owner and the GM. Something you don't want to be a part of. So Aaron Glenn, I think that if anybody could go to the Jets, it would be AG. Is that something that he would want to do? Is Dan Campbell like, yo, you need to go somewhere where they let you do your job? Because that's what Sheila has done with our team. She has let these guys, and that was one of the issues with William Clay Ford. He was too involved. Get out the way, right? He was much more involved than Martha and Sheila now. So Aaron Rodgers being gone from the Jets potentially, I don't know. It's coming out that the owner wanted to bench him after week 4. Aaron Rodgers is probably gone. There's no way Aaron goes there with Aaron. It ain't going to be 2 Aarons on that team or part of that team, right? As far as coach. Because, like I said before, Aaron Rodgers don't know. He going to know what's up if Aaron Glenn go over there. He's still there. But I assure you, Aaron Glenn ain't going over there with Aaron Rodgers. So if Aaron Rodgers departs and they get rid of him, cut him, whatever they see fit, it would open the door for the perfect situation as far as a guy that played for this organization. But is Aaron Glenn going to want to deal with that? Because you don't get a lot of second chances at head coaches. You don't. You have to be an outstanding head coach to get a second chance. Look at Vrabel, out for a year. He tried to get a job. What's his name? Bill Belichick tried to get a job. Both of them will probably be in the league next year. But these are great NFL coaches who did not get hired this coaching cycle. You don't get a lot of second chances. So let me know. Do you think Aaron Rodgers not being in New York anymore is a reason that Aaron Glenn would go? Do you think both coordinators stay? Do you think they both go? I think they both stay. I really do. Because you can't, listen, we all know what's up. You see something out on the street that look real good. You know what I'm saying? The lady in red, she look real good. You got what you need at home. You got what you need. Everything's perfect. But you see this lady in red, okay? You know what I'm talking about. All the 80s people know what I'm talking about. You stay at the crib. You think the lady in red offers you more than the crib got. You keep your butt at home. So I'm not sure either one of them leave, but let me know your thoughts down below.